Welcome back for today's college football pick video play for December 27th, 2018. If you're interested in getting all of our college football picks during bowl season, you can check those out over at stumpthespread.com. So coming into this one, not necessarily the most intriguing matchup just in terms of the two squads that we're getting here. Two Power 5 teams that barely made it into bowl eligibility at 6-6 overall. You have the Baylor Bears in the Vanderbilt Commodores, but that at least looks like it could be a pretty competitive matchup, so it could be interesting once you run down the stretch of the fourth quarter. It might be whoever gets the ball last or scores that last touchdown who might go on and take this one. Now, Baylor, they're getting 4 points coming in as the dogs. Not a huge surprise to see the Baylor Bears getting points here, given that their overall numbers during the regular season were just a little bit worse than Vanderbilt, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. Now, neither of these teams are really putting up much in the way of strong resume building wins. We take a look at the Bears with that 6-6 overall record. 4 of their wins coming within conference, but all of them against teams that are standing below them in the Big 12 standings. They picked up wins over Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and closing things out with a win at home over Texas Tech to get that 6th win and bowl eligibility. Now, in terms of their numbers on the year, this is a Baylor team that's focused more on the pass attack. They're averaging over 280 yards per contest through the air, compared to about 160 yards on the ground, 34 points per game offensively. But defensively, they haven't been great. They're giving up a little over 31 points per contest on the defensive side of the ball. Now, we take a look at the Vanderbilt Commodores, also 6-6 overall. They only won 3 games within the SEC. And again, kind of a similar story to Baylor. These are all teams that finished behind Vanderbilt in their overall SEC standing. You have Tennessee, who was just 2-6 in conference that Vanderbilt beat. And then also they beat the 0-8 Arkansas Razorbacks, as well as the 1-7 Ole Miss Rebels. So for Vanderbilt to get bowl eligible, they had a lot of breaks go their way, and the big one being the fact that 2 of their crossover games from the SEC West were the 2 worst teams in Ole Miss and Arkansas. That really boosted their chances at getting to those 6 wins. And also Vanderbilt, they closed out winning 3 of their final 4 games, again with that schedule turning a bit easier there down the stretch run. But they've also had some pretty nice results during that stretch, specifically taking advantage offensively, putting up 45 points on Arkansas, 36 on Ole Miss, as well as 38 in that final closing win against Tennessee. Now, in terms of their numbers, Vanderbilt just slightly worse offensively. They're putting up about 240 yards per game through the air and about 160 yards per contest on the ground. So the difference there being a bit worse in terms of their overall passing numbers, and then they're also averaging about 33 points per game, only about a point worse than the Bears. But defensively, definitely better overall than the Bears, giving up about 25 points per contest. And really, it's their defensive difference here that is why Vanderbilt is coming into this one favored by 4 points. But we actually think the overall strength of Baylor's victories is a bit better than Vanderbilt's this season, specifically in conference play with Baylor over in the Big 12 compared to what Vanderbilt did in the SEC East. We see this as being a very competitive matchup, and the fact that we're getting over a field goal with Baylor, we feel like that's going to be the better value bet in this one. So we're going to side with the Baylor Bears getting those 4 points and what we see as being a competitive matchup. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. You can check out all of our college football picks over at stumpthespread.com, which is linked down in the video description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hope to see you guys back here for our next video.